Hence my love shall be as I am now, with time's injurious hand crushed and o'erworn, when hours have drained his blood and filled his brow with lines and wrinkles when his youthful moan have traveled on the age's steeping night, and all those beauties whereof now he's king are vanishing or vanished out of sight, stealing away the treasure of his spring. For such a time do I now fortify against confounding age's cruel knife, that he shall never cut from memory my sweet love's beauty, though my lover's life. Shall in these black lines be seen, and they shall live, and he in them still green. How sweet and lovely dost thou make the shame, which like a canker in the fragrant rose doth spot the beauty of thy budding name. Oh, and what sweets dost thou thy sins enclose, the tongue that tells the story of thy days, cannot dispraise, but in a kind of praise, naming thy name blesses an ill report. for their habitation chose out deep, where beauty's veiled up, cover every blight, and all things turns to fair that eyes can see. Take heed, dear heart, of this large privilege. The heart is not feel used, doth lose his edge. Oh, how much more doth beauty is seen by that sweet ornament which truth doth give. The rose looks fair, but fairer we it deem for that sweet odor which doth in it live. The canker blooms have full as deep a dye as the perfume tincture of the roses. Hang on such thorns and play as wantonly when summer's breath their masked buds discloses. But for their virtue only is their show. They live unwooed and unrespected fade. Die to themselves, sweet roses do not sow. Of their sweet deaths our sweetest odors made. And so of you, beauteous and lovely youth, when that shall fade, my verse distills your truth. Against that time, if ever that time comes, when I shall see thee frown on my defects, when as thy love hath cast his utmost sun, called to that audit by advised respects, against that time when thou shalt strangely pass and scarcely greet me with that sun thine eye, when love converted from the thing it was, shall reasons find of settled gravity. since that time do I ensconce me here, within the knowledge of mine own desert. And this my hand against myself a prayer, to guard the lawful reasons on thy part. To leave poor me thou hast the strength of laws, since why to love I can allege no cause. How heavy do I journey on the way, when what I seek my weary travels end, doth teach that ease and that repose, to say, thus far the miles are measured from thy friend. The beast that bears me, tied with my woe, plods dully on to bear that weight in me, as if by some instinct the wretch didn't know his rider loved not speed, being made from thee. That sometimes anger thrusts into his hide, which heavily he answers with a groan, more sharp to me than spurring to his side. For that same groan doth put this in my mind: my grief lies onward, and my joy behind. So shall I live, supposing thou art true, like a deceived husband, so love's face may still seem love to me, though altered new. Thy looks with me, thy heart in other place. For For there can live no hatred in thine eye. Therefore in there I cannot know thy chain. In many's looks the false heart's history is written moves and frowns and wrinkles strange. But heaven and earth, creation did decree that in thy face sweet love should ever dwell. Whatever thy thoughts or thy heart's workings be, thy looks should nothing thence but sweetness tell. How like Eve's apple doth thy beauty grow, if thy sweet virtue answer not thy show. Dead with all these, for restful death I cry. As to behold desert, a beggar born, and needing nothing trimmed in jollity and purest faith, unhappily forsworn, and gilded honor shamefully misblacked, and maiden virtue rudely strumpeted, and wrought perfection wrongfully discredited, and strength by limp and sway disabled, art made tongue-tied by authority, and folly doctor-like controlling skill, and simple truth miscalled simplicity, and captive good attending Captain Hill. These would I be gone, save that to die I leave my love alone. The forward violet thus did I chide. Sweet thief, whence didst thou steal thy sweet that smells? If not for my love's breath, the purple pride, which on thy soft cheek for complexion dwells. In my love's veins, thou hast too grossly died. The lily I condemned for thy hand, and buds of marjoram had stolen thy hair. The roses fearfully on thorns did stand, one blushing shame, another white despair. A third, no red, no white, had stolen a both, and to his robbery had annexed thy breath. But for his theft and pride of all his growth, a vengeful canker eat him up to death. More flowers I noted, yet I none could see, but sweeter color it had stolen from thee. How sweet and lovely dost thou make the shame, which like a canker in the fragrant rose dost spot the beauty of thy budding name. Oh, and what sweets dost thou thy sins enclose? The tongue that tells the story of thy days, cannot dispraise, but in a kind of praise. Naming thy name which for their habitation chose out deep, where beauty's veiled up, cover every blight, and all things turns to fair that eyes can see. Take heed, dear heart, of this large privilege. The hardest knife he'll use doth lose his edge. Sin of self-love possesseth all mine eye, and all my soul and all my every part. And for this sin there is no remedy. It is so grounded inward in my heart. Methinks no face so gracious is mine, no shape so true, no truth of such account. And for myself mine own worth do define, as I all other in all worths amount. But when my glass shows me myself indeed, beaded and chopped with tanned antiquity, mine own self-love quite contrary I read. Self so self-loving were iniquity. 'Tis thee, myself, that for myself I praise, painting my age with beauty of thy days. Where art thou, muse, that thou forget so long to speak of that which gives thee all thy might? Spends thou thy fury on some worthless song, darkening thy power to lend base subjects light? Return, forget from use, and straight redeem in gentle numbers time so idly spent. Sing to the ear that doth thy lazy steam, and gives thy pen both skill and argument. lasting news, my love's sweet face survey. If time have any wrinkle graven there, if any be a satire to decay, and make time spoils despised everywhere, give my love fame faster, and time waste life, so thou preventst his scythe and crooked knife.